Hello everyone, this is Cynthia Miller here. I have been an elementary special education teacher for the past 16 years, and I am also the author of this book, Walrus in the Bathroom. Today I'm here to talk to you about a reading strategy that will help your children to notice when they're making mistakes in their reading, to notice their miscues. Now, sometimes you might see your child reading along and you notice they made a mistake in their reading. They misread a word and they didn't even notice. It didn't even occur to them to stop and apply a strategy to solve that word. So I'm here to talk to you about how you can help your children to start to notice those mistakes. The way that I teach children to notice their mistakes is by using 3 prompts. Did that make sense? Did that sound right? And does it look right? This can be referred to as the 3 cueing system. Now, I just want to say that sometimes the 3 cueing system gets a bad rap because it's either misunderstood or misused. So I want to just say that the 3 cueing system is just a small piece of reading. This strategy is just used for your children to notice that they've made an error so that they can go back and use those word-solving strategies to solve the mistake. But children need a very strong foundational background. They need strong phonics skills. They need to understand letter sounds and word patterns in order to be fluent and competent readers. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about this strategy and how we can help our children to notice that they've made a mistake so that they can go back and apply those phonics skills. So, one way to teach this strategy is by modeling it through read aloud. And I don't necessarily mean modeling it when you see your child making the mistake, although that can sometimes be helpful as well. But what I mean is when you're reading aloud to your child, perhaps at bedtime, you can model the thinking process that you go through when you make a mistake in your own reading. Model that metacognition. Let them see what goes on in your brain when you notice a mistake. Let them see you noticing your own mistakes. So I want to show you what that can look like. For instance, perhaps you're reading this page. My mom says that she shares her bathroom with a walrus. I've never seen a walrus in the bathroom. Now you're going to ask yourself, wait a minute, you're going to stop right there. You're going to say, wait a minute, did that make sense? That didn't really make sense. Did that sound right? No, that didn't sound right either. Let me go back and let me reread to see where I made a mistake. Something didn't seem right there. And you could go back to the beginning of that sentence. I've never seen a walrus. No, something's not right there. I've never seen a walrus in the bathroom. That made sense. That sounds right. And it looks right. All of the letters match that word, seen. When your children see you correct your own reading, it gives them permission to do the same. You see, sometimes children have this misconception that to be good readers, they have to always get everything right, when in fact, good readers notice their own mistake. They notice when they've misread something or when they don't understand something, and they work harder to make it right. So you want to make sure that your children are seeing you doing that work yourself. Now, something else that you can do, if you still see that your children are struggling to notice their own mistakes, you can make them a visual or even help them to make the visual. In fact, that's even better. If they make the visual themselves, they're much more likely to apply it, to remember it, to use it. So it doesn't have to be fancy. I mean, I just drew here on a Post-it. Make sense, sound right, look right. And those are just little reminders to your child to always be asking themselves those questions. Eventually, it will be second nature for them to just notice when something is not right. You can have them even draw a little picture to go with each phrase, and that also will help them to remember. So this is a visual cue. Now, if the visual cue is still not helping them, as you're reading with them, if they're not noticing on their own, that's when you want to step in and you want to use those prompts. Wait, did that make sense? Did that sound right? Did that look right? Or you could ask them, what questions can you ask yourself? Now this part's important. You don't want to just go back and boom, point out where they made the mistake. You want them to find their own mistake. So maybe you've used these prompts to help them, but let them go back and reread. Let them see if they could figure out which word they misread. 9 times out of 10, they'll figure it out and they'll solve it on their own. Now, if they've reread, let's say they've reread 3 times and they're still not noticing their mistake, that is when you can point out the word that they misread. And again, see if they can solve it. See if they can use their phonics skills to solve it. I've listed some other word solving skills. You can find them in my feed. I hope that those word solving skills help you. Those are just a handful of skills that you can have sort of in your word solving toolbox to help your children. And I do plan on making more videos on those strategies as well. So I hope you found this helpful today. Feel free to ask me any questions at all. It doesn't just have to be about this. It can be about anything reading related, writing related, math related. I'm happy to help. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.